Hello, everyone. Football. It's the first day of the NFL season. I think I froze already. Oh, no. Am I here?
Yes.
Oh, there I am. Now you're gone. I don't see your face anymore. Oh, no.
I see both of us.
Okay, there you're back. I was going to say, as soon as you come on, first day of the NFL, frozen.
I saw both of us unfrozen. Neither of us freezed at any point over here.
Let's hope that that's what our fans saw as well, because I saw a bit of nonsense in the first 3 seconds of this episode. But thank you guys, as always, for joining us. This is the Real Football Fans of New Jersey. We are coming to you live on Thursday. This week, we have Thursday Night Football coming up in about 2 hours for you guys. This is episode 219, and we've got a lot for you. We want to make sure we get you on your way to Thursday Night Football, so let's not wait any longer. Let's go ahead into it. We asked you guys for some questions. 2 really came in that really stood out to us. We think they're interesting. One does have to do with this evening, so let's go ahead and talk about them. We will do the non this evening question first. So one of the questions we got was if you could choose one current Giants player to be a guest on your show, who would you pick? It's a good question.
It is a very good question, and I don't think it was until getting this question that I kind of sat back and realized that I feel like for the last 2 or 3 seasons, I haven't really felt like super connected to the players on our team. I haven't had anybody that like I'm so in love with or who's a huge superstar. Or, we've struggled for quite some time now, and we've had guys come and go, and we don't have a lot of veteran players on the squad. And I don't know, I'd probably just say DJ, honestly. I would say that before this NFL football season starts, I don't think this is a bold prediction, but I do think this will be Daniel Jones's last season with the Giants. But when all is said and done, I'm not going to look back on the time with Daniel Jones and be like, oh, he couldn't get the job done for us. Like, I really like who he is as a person, as a player, as a leader. I think he's a good dude. I think he's like Eli Jr. So,
yeah,
I have a lot of love for him still, regardless of what's happened on the field. I would pick DJ to come on the show.
Yeah, I think he would be a good pick. He was super nice, obviously, when we met him in person when he first started with the Giants, which feels like light years ago, but it really wasn't that much long ago. I think that I think you're not, on the boat alone with not having like a huge emotional tie to a lot of players. My ties do simply come from Alabama, from guys coming over that I've watched for so long, and now I'm happy. So I must say, I'm wearing his jersey tonight. I am wearing the Xavier McKinney jersey. I would have Xavier McKinney on. I guess now with Evan Neal too, I'd love to. He's just like a really smart human being. I would love to, I love intelligent football players. Not that they're all stupid, but like when you get like a really smart one, like I think of like a Richard Sherman, like intelligence wise, like they're so like interesting. Like Evan Neal is like an intelligent human being. Like I'd be interested in that. But yeah, I'll definitely go with Xavier McKinney. I love what he's doing with the Giants. I'm really excited. I think this is going to be a breakout year for him. And just that tie to Alabama is really, really exciting. So.
Absolutely.
Alrighty, so our second question does have to do with tonight's game, Thursday Night Football. Who is going to be the biggest fantasy football stud in tonight's game? And this is a huge game. We've got, a lot of people on the field that are on all of your fantasy teams, probably.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, there are tons of Bills players and tons of Rams players that were drafted. I would love for it to be either Cooper Kupp or Matt Gay for the Rams, because I got both of them going tonight. I surprisingly realized that on 2 teams that I drafted, I don't have any Bills players. But I am going to go with a Bills player. I think this is going to be a high-powered offensive game. I think it has to be for whoever's going to win the football game. And I can see, he wasn't my pick for MVP, but I know he is a front-runner pick for MVP. And he's going to start off the season with a bang, being like, yeah, you guys are right to pick me. I'm going to go with Josh Allen. I could see him having 3 or 4 touchdowns tonight, and it could be a combo of like some passing. Like I think he can get a rushing touchdown tonight. I think it's going to be a big one for Josh Allen.
I agree with you, Katie. I'm actually going to go with 4 to 5 touchdowns, and one of them is a guaranteed rush. I think for him, I think one is definitely guaranteed. If you want to throw 2 in the mix, I think that's a little heavy for an opening game. So, but it is going to be an exciting game. It is going to be a very offensive-driven game, like you said. So, I'm 100% going with Josh Allen on this one. And just good for all of you guys that have Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, even like I have David Singletary, but he's on my bench, but he could be a good player for you tonight. Cooper Kupp, even Matthew Stafford, you've got people that are going to go play tonight. So people that have these fantasy players tonight, you're already starting. You're going to see if your week's starting off strong, or maybe you might have to do some shuffling for the rest of the weekend. But there's some studs out there tonight. But I think, it's definitely easy to see why we are in agreement with Josh Allen here. So, all righty. Yes, a lot, of excitement going in tonight's game. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So if you have questions, anything for us as you prep, as you pregame for, I think this is an 8:30 kickoff. I always forget what time Thursday night. 8:20. All right. So we've got, about 2 hours. Let us know your questions. We're live on all these platforms. Send them in. Any comments, any predictions you have for tonight's game. But we've got more football and housewives to get into.
Yeah, let's do it. Quick hot topics for NFL. We've got some roster moves that we want to talk about. Obviously, a lot of things happen with guys being released, cutting down to the 53-man roster. But we do have former Philly and Chicago offensive tackle Jason Peters still in the league. He signed a contract with Dallas. The 40-year-old will start on the practice squad and try to work his way onto the roster. Baltimore, they signed recently released running back Kenyon Drake as they deal with injuries to both J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards. So kind of a good little pickup there for them. Philly traded wide receiver Jalen Reagor. He never took off for them.
He really didn't.
So they traded him to Minnesota for a 2023 7th-round pick and a 2024 4th-round pick, which I think we might have mentioned late last episode and being surprised that they got a 4th-rounder out of that too.
Right.
Shocking news in the New York Giants front. Obviously, Caitlin and I were very unhappy about this one. He was kind of like one of our favorites.
I know.
The Giants released linebacker Blake Martinez after 2 seasons in order to make room to sign offensive lineman Tyre Phillips. So, we love Blakey Poo.
Yeah.
Honestly. And I heard that it was kind of a mutual decision. That's what I read. But,
yeah.
in the best. We loved having him as a New York Giant. He was amazing.
Yeah, and I think some of the stuff I'd seen out there, were arguments you couldn't make an argument that he was a game changer, or that did you really think he was going to do wonders for us this season? For me, that doesn't really matter. He actually was a game changer before he got hurt. He was making game-changing plays, and also just that leadership on the field, showing up and, got that captain, that C on his jersey, his first season with the New York Giants. I think he was a presence, and I struggle to see him go, but I do understand, again, I was hearing the mutual as well. We did save a lot. The Giants are in deep doo-doo with cap space right now. So they're making moves. We obviously saw everything with Darius Slayton, and you might talk about that with, money moves there. So if at the end of the day, that's it, if it was a mutual decision for and then we got money involved, we always talk about this, the NFL is a business. So,
yeah. Okay, so we also have the Chargers signing running back Sony Michel, who was cut by Miami. He will join Austin Eckler and rookie Isaiah Spiller in the backfield for the Chargers. Chicago claimed former 2021 first-round pick offensive lineman Alex Leatherwood, who was released by the Raiders. And then we have tight end O.J. Howard, who signed with Houston after being released by Buffalo. Let's talk about 2 new major contracts. We have Denver quarterback Russell Wilson agreeing to terms on a 5-year contract extension worth $245 million.
Hasn't even played a game in Denver yet.
Which includes $165 million guaranteed. He had 2 seasons remaining on his deal with Seattle, so the extension ties him to Denver for the next 7 years. Tennessee reworked their contract with running back Derrick Henry, giving him a $2 million raise. This bumps him up to $14 million this season, which makes him the highest paid running back in terms of 2022 cash.
Yeah.
Actually, we have one more that popped up after we did our notes, but we do also have Bills tight end extending the contract for Dawson Knox, agreeing to a 4-year extension. So that's what we got there as far as contract talk. And then on Tuesday, Pittsburgh named Mitchell Trubisky their starting quarterback for week 1 against Cincinnati. He was also named a captain for this season. Head coach Mike Tomlin said the team is comfortable with him and they like his franchise quarterback experience. I understand that. Despite drafting rookie quarterback Kenny Pickett in the first round, he will back up Trubisky as he landed in the QB2 spot over Mason Rudolph. So I know that, I will be honest, I didn't pay too much attention to Kenny Pickett and what was going on with him as far as preseason.
Not really, yeah.
So that being said, and not seeing what he was doing in preseason, I will say that this whole offseason, I have felt, though, as regardless of what Pickett did this offseason and training camp and preseason, I thought it was just the safe play to go with Mitchell Trubisky as your starting quarterback.
Right.
You're playing a division team. Try to get a win there. It's, anytime you have a division game, getting a win in the division is crucial. So he does have that starting quarterback experience in the NFL. I think that would have been a hard game for Kenny Pickett to open up to. I think we can all agree we probably will see Kenny Pickett at some point this season.
Yeah.
But I like the move to go with Trubisky, even though I believe there was outside pressure from fans and the media of going with Pickett.
Yeah, definitely. I think it just kind of not that, we neither of us really followed that, quarterback trio. But you see stuff online, you see, like you said, the pressure from Pittsburgh fans, everything like that. For me, it's kind of like, why is he such a hot number then for like offensive rookie of the year when the kid's not even starting week 1? Like, it's that stuff. It's the number 1 selling jersey. It's such a weird, like, plot. I feel like that's going on in Pittsburgh, and you're not wrong. I think we will see him, whether it's if they get frustrated with Trubisky and he pops in for a little bit, but then maybe Trubisky comes back. We might even see Mason Rudolph. I think I said that on the last episode. We might see it's like the three heads there. We might see all 3 of them this season. So I'm not really sure what to think of it.
Right. And then one last quarterback news that also broke yesterday.
Yesterday, I think. Yeah.
That Zach Wilson will not be available for week 1. It will be backup veteran quarterback Joe Flacco. Did the NFL write this one again? Because the Jets will be playing the Baltimore Ravens in week 1.
It all falls into place somehow.
We talk about liking spooky season. Maybe this is the NFL spooky season because it just feels like the football gods are just doing some puppetry, like mastering, and who knows. But we will see. I can't even remember the last time. I'd have to look it up when the last time Joe Flacco started a game. It was probably, due to injury for somebody and filling in, here or there. But
he was with the Jets. He went to Philadelphia. Now he's back with the Jets. I think I
think someone was injured and he came in or something like that.
I think he did start for the Jets for that when he was backing up. I think he was backing up Sam Darnold, I guess, at that point. Yeah, so yeah. He definitely did start. I don't know if he started for the Eagles at all, but that was his the last couple of years. It was Jets, Eagles, Jets again. So I
would say don't necessarily sleep on Joe Flacco.
I'm not going to.
I feel like that could maybe be, spoiler alert, I'm not picking the Jets to win, but you never know. Weird things could happen. He could come in and be like, oh, Joe Flacco, you still got it. So it's going to be very interesting to see him back out there.
Yeah, definitely. So a lot of movement going into week 1, but that's just, we always tell you guys, things are moving and grooving no matter what date on the calendar it is. So always keep locked in to the Real Football Fans in New Jersey, whether it's every week or on our social media channels every day. We did get a question in on the YouTube. Are you guys planning on attending any games this year? Well, we do have one locked and loaded. We are attending the Giants Dallas Monday night game. I believe it's September 26th.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah. So Monday Night Football, Giants, Dallas, we will be there. So we will make sure everyone knows leading up that day. We'll make sure anyone there, meet up, chat, anything like that. So that is our one locked in right now.
Yeah. It's funny that we got that question because I was actually just like had my schedule up like September, October, looking into November.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the games and what the options were when I was around. And I'm thinking that it'll probably be either the Houston Texans or the Detroit Lion game in November.
Yeah.
Like potentially another game for me this season. So.
Yeah, October's tough. I don't think I could do October. Yeah. I got offered the home opener, but the tickets were way too expensive. And I was like, no.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's the other thing. Not only am I available for the Houston and Detroit game, but the tickets are like $35. So that works for me.
Yeah. So I wasn't paying, like, they were like $200. I was like, no, thank you. I'm good. Yeah. All righty. So we are so excited because it is week 1 and we are doing this for the rest of the season. We are giving you our picks for this weekend slate of games, also tonight as well. I will post immediately after show. I already posted on Twitter, but I'll go on Instagram after the show and let you guys know who we're picking tonight. So if you want to put some last minute dollars on it, but we also tell you not to trust us. If you are betting people, you can if you want to, but if you lose, please do not come after us. It's not our fault. So not only do we give you our picks, we do give you a lock and an upset for the week as well. Our lock is obviously who we think is definitely that's going to be a W on the board. And we always like to keep things spicy by picking an upset every week as well.
But I didn't see many upset options here. I like what I went with.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of options.
My upset is, and I have my reasoning behind it, so I'll get to it, but I think my upset is pretty spicy, and if it happens, I think we'll all be happy. I think the world might be happy campers. So, all right, so Katie, I'm going to let you start, and as always, people, I always pull up I'm going to be out of order from you, so we'll just have to accept that and move on with it. But you
both agree. Every year, I always look at NFL.com schedule.
No, you know what? I look at ESPN because that's the image I use.
I'll switch to what you do. I'll do ESPN from now on.
Okay, fine. Compromise. All right. So why don't you go ahead and get us started?
So week 1 tonight, I am going with Buffalo, and then I'm also going with the New Orleans Saints, Carolina, San Fran, Cincinnati, Philly, Indianapolis, Miami, Baltimore, Washington, Tennessee, sorry, Giants, Kansas City, the Chargers, Minnesota, Tampa Bay, and Denver. My lock is going to be Russell Wilson over his former team, Denver over Seattle, and my upset in the NFC North, the Minnesota Vikings over the Green Bay Packers.
That would be a monstrous week 1 win for the Vikings. And my only comment on that is if they don't excel for the rest of the season after a week 1 W over Green Bay, then they are definitely on my shit list for the rest of the, like I'm done with even questioning them. Are they going to be good? Are they going to be bad? I'm just nothing. I don't even think of them anymore. So if they win, good for them, but they got to prove it for the rest of the season. I think that's good. I think we agreed on 12 or 13. I think I lost count near the end, but I think like 12 or 13 we were good on. So, all righty. So I am going with Buffalo tonight as well. So Katie and I are locked in on the Bills going into the first game of the season, Thursday Night Football at 8:20 tonight. I'm also going with the Saints. I'm going with the 49ers, the Cincinnati Bengals, the Detroit Lions, the Miami Dolphins, Baltimore, Washington, Carolina Panthers, the Indianapolis Colts, Tennessee, sorry, Giants, like Katie said, the Green Bay Packers, Kansas City, the Chargers, Tampa Bay, and I'm ending it with Monday Night Football with the Denver Broncos.
Hey, we only had 2 that were different.
Okay.
Which was you went with Green Bay
and Detroit.
And then your what seems to be your upset. So yeah, those were the two. Go ahead.
So my lock is the Indianapolis Colts over the Houston Texans.
Okay.
And my upset is the Detroit Lions over the Philadelphia Eagles. So my reasoning behind this.
I do like that. And I'm letting you know that it was on my short list of potential upsets.
I think it's actually going to be a really good game. I know that we've come. It's an interesting matchup, and I actually just realized like a couple of days ago that they were playing each other. I didn't realize that was that opening game. So I just think it's an interesting matchup because Detroit is going to come out hot this year, and I think they have a lot to prove. But we've also been dissecting Philly's entire roster for the last couple of weeks, and they're good. Like on paper, like they are good. So I think it'll be an interesting matchup to kind of see like the strengths and weaknesses on both teams playing each other. The also other factor too, it is the only game, it is officially sold out. There's standing room only in Detroit on Sunday. So
they are ready in Detroit.
Like they're ready for a W, and they are ready for a W against the Philadelphia Eagles. And I would just like to be a fly on the wall to like get that energy there on Sunday. Yeah. Like it is going to be exciting regardless. So those are my factors for that.
Like I said, that was on my short list of potential upset picks. You know, we've been singing Detroit's praises about, you know, really taking a big leap this year. And I think the thing with Philly is I think they have one of the best off seasons in the NFL this year. That's because of people they acquired through free agency and also people they acquired through the NFL draft. What that also says, you can play devil's advocate, is that these are all new people to the team that to get out there in a real football game and gel together. And sometimes that could take a little while to get things going. So I do believe that that could be a potential upset. And if not, I actually think it's going to be a very competitive football game. So I like the pick. Week one, we are ready. We've only got two opposites, and they're both of our upset picks. So it'll be good. Week one is always super hard for picks, by the way. Like super hard.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, definitely a tough one for sure. But yep, like I said, I'll get these picks posted either after the show or tomorrow morning. But I'll get the Bills one out right after this. So you guys, so you can, again, if you want to be a degen, get some last minute doll hairs on it, but don't come after us. So
yeah, this is a hard one to pick tonight. You could go either way.
I think the Bills are actually. I was talking to my brother before the show. I think like the Bills were like up on like, but I don't know, like this. I'm not like big into betting, so I don't really know. They were, but then the Rams, it turned around. The Rams were, but now the Bills are up like 2-3 points, something like that. And so it's been like a wild week apparently. Like it's been going back and forth. But I'm not surprised. It's going back and forth, to be honest.
I think that's how it's going to go tonight. Back and forth, touchdown. They're just going to match each other the whole night. That's what I'm expecting.
I'm so ready.
Imagine if it's like a 9-3 game. We'll all like be.
I swear to God, I'll go to bed. I'll go to bed at halftime. I swear to God.
But to our big stories of the week in the world of housewives. I like these two stories that we have for you tonight because they do tie in together.
Yes.
And we are super excited for season 3 of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. It is what we are talking about tonight.
Yes.
Housewives. So we want to start our first story with letting you know that we have new cast members for season 3. So we also have the premiere date. It has officially been announced for September 28th, people. That is 20 days away. I'm so ready for it. It is going to include 3 new cast members, including Dana Bowie Negretti, Angie Harrington, and Angie Katsanevas. It will also see the return of Meredith Marks, Lisa Barlow, Heather Gay, Whitney Rose, and Jen Shaw. Obviously, we are not going to be having Jenny anymore, and we are not going to have Mary Crosby, which I don't think anybody cares about.
No. Oh, my God.
As far as these new women, Dana is a Salt Lake City top 500 realtor. She is also a wife and a mother and is bilingual in Vietnamese and English. She is a friend of Heather's. That's how she, fits into the group. And the two apparently go way back, but she reportedly gets tangled in the group drama when she brings a rumor about Jen to light. And, we are going to talk about the trailer. She is the one in the trailer saying that she knows someone who is working for Jen, who is now an informant. So I'm going to get to that where that drama is going to come from. We did see Angie H. If you are a Salt Lake City watcher, she was on a bit last season in kind of like a smaller friend role. She is married with 3 sons and runs a fashion and lifestyle blog. After a fallout with Lisa last season, she was friends with Lisa. She kind of grew closer to Whitney and Heather.
Right.
She's like that blonde friend. Like we saw her in the first couple of episodes, and there was like drama around that party she was hosting.
She was she was around.
She was in the couple beginning of the episodes because they were kind of testing her out to see if she was in full time.
Makes sense.
She kind of disappeared the rest of the season. They didn't end up going with her. I don't know as far as these 3 new women is a lot. So I don't know if they all have full-time roles, friend roles. We will find that out. Angie K is a friend of Jen Shaw's, and she is a business owner, wife, and mother. She owns a salon with her husband. She's been described as ever loyal and will always have her friends' backs, but will speak her mind when they cross her. So I'm excited for these new women. Obviously, we are losing 2 cast members.
Right.
It makes sense to at least bring 1, if not 3, new women into the mix. We'll see how. Obviously, they have history. One is Heather's friend, one is Jen's friend. Angie was friends with a couple of them. So they all should fit into the group, and hopefully they're a little bit better than Jenny and Mary were. So,
yeah.
But yeah, so I'm excited to see these new women, and let's get down to the nitty gritty about what we can see for season 3.
Well, holy guacs, because we had an amazing trailer dropped for us. And it was like a long trailer too. And it just kept like coming and coming and coming. I was like, all right. Like, I will take it. Like, it is like with how Housewives has been over the past couple of like months, maybe even close to a year at this point, like next to disappointing on so many levels. Like, this was something that we needed, and they delivered. So it's not as good as the trailer that we got for the last season. But
nothing can top the
that needed an Oscar or whatever. That needed a full
fan.
Yeah, that was amazing. But this did deliver. So there's a couple of things, that last week, and, we saw this last week, but we did wait until this week to discuss it because there's just so much to look into. Yeah. So a couple of things here. So Whitney opens up about being abused as a child. This is actually a couple parts of the trailer that we see. And it seems like it's something that she's kept hidden for a really long time, not only from her friends, but it seemed like her husband. I don't think she's gone into like
her husband, Heather, who is her husband. But what I'm very curious about with that scenario is who is she abused by?
Yeah.
Because maybe it was this person, maybe it wasn't, but I'm thinking about Whitney's father, and we've obviously seen him on the show before. And even if it wasn't him, I'm wondering, like, did he potentially know about it? So to have a face to somebody in her family who was there when she was growing up, like, that's going to be interesting and sad, obviously, to hear like the details about that and what went on.
Yeah, absolutely. We're hearing this is so wild, but rumors of Lisa doing sexual favors to help grow her business. There's always something about her business that's brought up every season, I feel. And I know we're only into season 3, but every season there's something about that business. So I'm not surprised something is coming up. I just didn't really think it would be this. And I don't know
if I'm buying this one. I don't even know the details. Listen, I'm not a fan of Lisa. But I think that seems really extreme, and I don't picture that. But then obviously in the trailer, they also gave like the tiniest little thing of her sitting down with her husband, John, and seeming like there was a disconnect in their marriage.
Right.
So I think we'll try to tie that all in together. But that kind of seems one of those things where it's like you hear these outlandish like stories and rumors come up in some of the franchises, and you're like, that doesn't seem legit. So I don't know about that one.
I was waving bye to my mom. Sorry. But all right. And then we have Jen claims she was played by Stuart, and he's the reason she's facing her legal problems. This like bugged me to no end because he's definitely
girl, own your shit.
He's definitely involved, but the last season, like, she was just like, no, like, I don't think he did anything. Like, we didn't do anything. It was like a we thing. And now she's like, F you, like, he did everything wrong. So, like, I don't know.
You're innocent. You're innocent. You want to beat up everybody who says that you're potentially.
Oh my God.
And you plead guilty. This all reminds me of like Jen Shaw just being one of those persons who like gives an apology and they're like, I'm so sorry. But and then they back up like why they did what they did.
Right.
It's like, no, just say sorry, period, end of sentence. Like, so it kind of feels like you're pleading guilty. Are you
yeah.
The fact that you did something wrong, and then it's like, oh well, I only got into this mess because of Stewart. Okay.
Yeah.
Then she's another one that I can't stand. So.
Yeah. Well, quick pivot back over to football because someone did comment that the Cowboys are going to sweep the Giants. Yeah, no shit. They probably will. Like, it's not you. You've got to. I'm a little optimistic sometimes.
Here, like fighting you on that.
I don't have the energy to fight you on that one. And I think that person stopped watching. They literally froze on and left. Like, great. Like, I don't give a shit to be honest. They're going to. All right, back to Salt Lake City. We're going to see Jen in court and the day that she pleads guilty. So we are going to see it. I think that's why Bravo kind of like held off a little bit for filming. Maybe they took a pause here and there. They know this is the stuff. And I think someone in the preview had made a comment, and I could be wrong here, about Jen like needing to make a paycheck, and that's why
I think as far as the new cast members go, I think that is Dana, the one who said the informant. That I could be wrong, but I think Dana is that woman, and she seems to have no issue coming after Jen Shaw. I am here.
Maybe we'll see if Jen Shaw is actually going to hit someone. If someone's like not, because like when she gets very aggressive and in people's,
it would be so freaking stupid to hit someone with everything she's got going on.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm kind of ready to see if like she's all talk or if she actually will freaking hit someone. Because
Jen Shaw, stupid to go on a reality television show when you're committing fraud.
Yeah.
It would be stupid to punch somebody when you're going through this on reality television. I mean,
you're going to prison.
They are so unintelligent. It's amazing.
They really are. So it was just a jam-packed, honestly, trailer. I am so excited.
It's like the one, like we didn't bring it up because it's not like a huge topic, but it was one of the things where I was like, you go, boy. I love it. When Lisa's oldest son was saying like, and I love how he like won't curse in front of his mom. And he's like, fudge college. I don't want to go to college. It's not necessary. And Lisa like flipped out. She's like, that's not how this works. Like, you go to college. And I'm like, dude, if my future son tells me one day, like, fudge college, I'm going to be like, thank you for saving mommy money. Thank you.
Let's go get a job.
Favorite child.
Yeah, like, right? Go make some money for yourself.
I'm one of those people who's like, I don't think college is super necessary nowadays. But when he said that, I was just like, you go, boy. Like, get it. Fudge
he's like, nah. Yeah, but it's wild to think too, like how like old he's getting. We've only had him for 3 seasons. So it is wild to kind of see the children grow up. I think last season we saw it with Heather's kids. They grew up like so insane in like a year, basically. And now we're seeing it with Lisa's son. So
also like he does like, I don't know how well their hair product thing goes, but him and his brother, like they do own a business, and his mother and father, they're like entrepreneurs. They own businesses. Like if they're able to just go out there and like skip college and just start earning money like at 18 years old, why not go for it?
I 100% agree. 100%.
But I can't wait for season 3. Yeah. I think you're absolutely right. I think this last year of Housewives has been a downer. And I would say even for New Jersey, which is like, I think the strongest franchise right now. I think, last season was a little weak, but we're going to have one coming up for that. So I think that's going to be an amazing upcoming season for New Jersey. The Salt Lake City trailer for season 3 was fire. I'm very excited for it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But let's swing it back to football. We are going to play our game tonight. It is called the Ultimate Three-Headed Monster. So after ranking running back duos and wide receiver duos this offseason, we're going to take a look at an NFL.com article from last week. that ranked the 2022 NFL triplets, aka which teams had the best QB1, WR1, or pass catcher, because it can be a tight end, and running back one combo in the league heading into the season. So Nick Shook from NFL.com ranked all 32 teams. We will not do 32. We will reveal his top 10 list and give our own top 10 list. So why don't we kick this off? Let's go 10-1. Nick, we'll give Nick's first. Caitlin, you can give yours, and then I'll give mine, and then we'll go down from there. So coming in at number 10 on Nick's list is the Kansas City Chiefs with quarterback Patrick Mahomes, running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and tight end Travis Kelce. Kate, who do you have at 10?
So I just want a spoiler. I actually have everyone that he has, but my order is completely different. So
spoiler, I have two teams that he did not.
All right. Well, I do have someone different coming at number 10. I have Dallas coming in at number 10 with Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, and CeeDee Lamb.
Good trio there. Number 10 on my list is a team that Nick left off of his list. I'm going with the Denver Broncos. I still consider quarterback Russell Wilson to be a top 5 quarterback in the league. We've got a lot of potential, a lot of people thinking this is going to be a big sophomore season for running back Javonte Williams.
Yeah.
And we have wide receiver Cortland Sutton.
Yeah.
At number 9 on Nick's list, we have Green Bay. We have quarterback Aaron Rodgers, running back Aaron Jones, and now WR1 in Green Bay, we have Allen Lazard. Kate, who do you have at 9?
Just drafted Allen Lazard last night. He's sitting on my bench because I think he's nursing an ankle injury. I think he's okay though. But just a spoiler for anyone who has him on fantasy.
Could be good for Minnesota to upset Green Bay in week 1.
Could be. Well, that too. So Allen Lazard and George Kittle, if you guys have him, apparently he's hurt. He might not play on Sunday. So sorry. Just giving.
I've seen. I'm keeping my eye on available tight ends.
Yeah, I think they'll both be okay for Sunday. So
I think Georgie Boy will be out there, but we'll see.
Yeah, he's a tough kid. Number 9 is where I have Kansas City. So it's Mahomes, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and we do have the tight end in that position as Travis Kelce. So.
Yep. At number 9, this is actually, I have my 2 teams that Nick did not have at my 10 and my 9 spot. So my 9 spot is the Arizona Cardinals with quarterback Kyler Murray, running back James Conner, and wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins. I think the entire world has forgotten that they have Hopkins. And
that's why I left them off, to be honest.
Guys, it's not like he's fallen off the face of the earth. DeAndre Hopkins is still a top 5 wide receiver. Potentially top 3, so let's not forget about him.
With these lists, I feel like I'm in the moment. I'm in the right now, and I know he's not.
Everyone has completely forgotten that he exists. So
no, it's fair. It's fair.
All right, number 8 on Nick's list. This is where he has Dallas quarterback Dak Prescott, running back Zeke Elliott, and wide receiver CeeDee Lamb. Who do you have at 8?
We're only a little bit off, him and I, but this is where I have Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, and Allen Lazard. So we got not only a triple, we've got a.
Calling in?
I think it's my brother.
Who's calling in?
My brother. Okay, answer it. Hello. Hello. Yes, I do. My parents still have a landline. I do not have a landline in my house, but I don't know. Do you have a landline?
No.
No, I don't even know who has those anymore. They were my parents, clearly. So, but yeah, so I was gonna say that we're talking about the triple-headed monster. This is the triple A's for Green Bay. So,
yes. And this is, I'm actually agreeing with Nick on this one at my 8 spot. This is where I have Dallas as well. So number 7 on his list, he has Minnesota quarterback Kirk Cousins, running back Dalvin Cook, and wide receiver Justin Jefferson.
We agree on the 7 spot here. I'm not high on Kirk Cousins all the time. I really could not. Yeah, I really couldn't, miss the opportunity to put, that Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson duo is just, I know it's a trio we're talking about. That is just God bless the Minnesota Vikings, because that is just really awesome. So I probably could have put them a little bit lower, but I think the strength at running back and wide receiver, I liked the 7 spot for them for sure.
Okay. My 7th spot, maybe surprising. I think a lot of people would have them closer to, maybe top 3, but I'm actually going with Buffalo on this one. I'm going with quarterback Josh Allen, running back Devin Singletary, and wide receiver Steph Diggs. And Singletary is like the weak link of this bunch. Obviously, Josh Allen is a top 5 quarterback. Some people can make arguments top 5 for Steph Diggs in the wide receiver role. Devin Singletary, by no means, Kate, I know you drafted him pretty late in the draft last night, which I love him as a late fantasy. Your RB3, your RB4 on your team. But yeah, he's the weak link here, and it's tough. There were just 6, ones that I liked better than this. This is where I have Buffalo.
Yep.
Okay, number 6. Well, actually, Nick broke the rules, but I guess he invented the rules. It's his article. But he has a tie. He doesn't have a 6. He has a tie for 2 fifth-place teams. So I'll go with the first one here.
Okay.
He is going with the Rams and their quarterback, Matthew Stafford, running back Cam Akers, and wide receiver Cooper Kupp. Kate, who do you have at 5?
Oh, no, I have the 6. I have the Chargers at 6. So Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler, and wide receiver Mike Williams.
Yeah. I'm kind of like, what's funny about the Chargers is he's got Mike Williams as WR1. I actually would love to look at the depth chart right now because Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, like who do you put at WR1? This is a team with 2 WR1s.
Yeah. Must be nice. And the Giants have 18 wide receivers, and none of them
8 WR3s.
Yeah, no one's a WR.
All right, and 6, I have Kansas City. I've got quarterback Patrick Mahomes, running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and tight end Travis Kelce. I'm really, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is the weak link on this trio, but Patrick Mahomes is the top 3 quarterback, and Travis Kelce, when you do group him with the wide receivers on this list, he's really high up there. He's one of the best. So that's why I've got Kansas City at 6. So Nick's other 5th place team, this is where he's putting the Chargers: Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler, and Mike Williams. Who do you have at 5?
At 5, I'm going with the Las Vegas Raiders. We've got Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs, and Devontae Adams. I know, there's definitely some speculation with Josh Jacobs. I know you've brought it up on the show. A lot of people, I actually, in one of my leagues, actually have their RB2. I'm blanking on his name, unfortunately. I did draft him, and a lot of people, when I posted...
Zamir White.
Is it him?
Because it was Kenyon Drake was there and Zamir White, and then they released Kenyon Drake. And so now it's Zamir White and...
Yeah. So when I posted my roster, a lot of people were like, that was a great pickup because they think he's actually going to get more touches than Josh Jacobs. Listen, I won't complain, honestly, but I'm still pretty big on Josh Jacobs. So I think he's a very talented running back. And Vegas is just a talented team. So even if this kid, Zamir White, gets more touches, Josh Jacobs is still going to get the ball. They're still going to find a way to get him in there. So, So I think I guess if you wanted to look at it, all 3 of them, he's maybe the weaker link out of the 3, but I think that's still a nice trio.
Spicy spoiler alert. I do not have Vegas on this list.
Oh, I was wondering who the 2 you don't have on here is.
Yeah, so I guess when I'm looking at all these teams that I did go with, I would say that I like all of the quarterbacks, maybe minus I would say Derek Carr's a little bit better than Kirk Cousins. So I would say every other quarterback on my list I like better than Derek Carr.
Okay.
And then I'm not big on Josh Jacobs. And then obviously Devontae Adams is the huge factor for this trio. Mm-hmm. But to have 2 out of 3 that I just like other people better. On this list of those positions had me take Las Vegas off of mine. But for me at 5, I do have Minnesota. So quarterback Kirk Cousins, Dalvin Cook, and Justin Jefferson. Kirk Cousins is obviously helped greatly by this running back and this wide receiver with him. Dalvin, top 5 running back, and Justin Jefferson, top 3 wide receivers. So I love this trio. Absolutely. Now we're getting to number 4, and you and Nick completely disagree with me because 4 on his list is Las Vegas. Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs, and Devontae Adams. Who do you have?
So this is where I have Buffalo. So we've got Josh Allen, Devin Singletary, and Stephon Diggs. So
okay.
I think I called Devin David earlier. So sorry about that.
Okay, we are on 4. I have the Rams. I have quarterback Matthew Stafford, running back Cam Akers, and wide receiver Cooper Kupp.
Really solid trio there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, honestly, we're basically just naming like all your fantasy players right now.
Yeah, this is just like a fantasy roster up and down the list. So,
okay, so number 3 on Nick's list, he was also big on Buffalo as well. He's got Josh Allen, Devin Singletary, and Steph Diggs.
3 is where I have the Rams. So,
okay,
absolutely.
3, this is where I'm going with Tampa Bay, number 1 quarterback in the league, in my opinion, still Mr. Tom Brady. We've got running back Leonard Fournette, and then don't sleep on Mike Evans.
No, oh my goodness. Who's sleeping on Mike Evans? Never.
On Mike Evans, I just think it's like these new, fresh, young guns like Cooper Kupp and Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you forget, like Mike Evans has been in the league for a long time now, but he's still one of the most consistent.
He's
it's
so
like
good.
Keenan Allen. Like Keenan Allen is also a guy that people like it's like not like a sexy pick or a sexy thought, like, ooh, Keenan Allen.
Right.
But
yeah.
He has 1,000 receiving yards every single season to go with, 7, 8, 9 touchdowns. It's the same exact thing with Mike Evans. So, I definitely love this trio here at number 3. So we're getting to our top 2 teams here. Nick's number 2 team is Tampa Bay. Kate, are you going with Tampa Bay here?
I'm not.
Okay.
So I guess that'll spoil to where I do have them. I'm going to Cincinnati here. So with Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon, Jamar Chase, this is such a great trio. But let's talk about the youngness of this trio too. And I think that is like the huge X factor and the scare factor. But I will say, obviously, if you guys didn't realize, I will reveal my top pick. I think the youngness does kind of just bump them down. It's not a negative thing. It's just like you'll see, like I went more veteran for my first pick just because they've been around the block a time or two. So we've seen a lot more. But that's why I think they are a good number 1 pick. But I just due to the fact that they're young, they're definitely scary, but that youngness, I still want to see a little bit more out of them. So,
all right. Number 2, I'm going with the Chargers. I'm going with Justin Herbert.
All right.
And Mike Williams. I mean, obviously, we saw it in people's fantasy drafts, right? Justin Herbert was a top 3 fantasy quarterback drafted. Austin Eckler was a top 3 overall pick in most leagues. And then you've got a guy like Mike Williams, where I just said, like, let's not forget, Keenan Allen is also basically a WR1 there as well. I think this is going to be a beautiful offense for the Chargers and going to help the case for my pick of MVP of this NFL season for Justin Herbert.
Absolutely. I do. I have Justin Herbert and Austin Eckler on one of my fantasy teams. So I'm excited for that duo. I do also have Joe Burrow and Joe Mixon on my other team. So I'm really hoping.
And you drafted T. Higgins.
I did, yes. So I'm really hoping for like these I
have 2 teams, and my quarterbacks, I wanted good quarterbacks this year, and I have Patrick Mahomes in one and Justin Herbert in the other. So I'm ready to collect on that. Please.
Yeah. No, I mean, honestly, the draft I did last night, Justin Herbert was the first quarterback off the board. So I'm not, listen, it's a getting around. Everyone's, I think, on the Charger train. So
they are. Choo choo. All right, number 1 on Nick's list, he is going with Cincinnati, Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon, and Jamar Chase. I think I know what your number 1 is, but go ahead and tell the people.
Well, if they just tuning in now, or you guys didn't really pick up from the beginning, I did say I had every single one the same, just different orders. That means there's one team remaining for me, and I'm going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on this one. This is a veteran squad here with Brady Fortinet and Mike Evans, and it's just, again, I love Cincinnati. I love those guys they have. I just want to give it some time a little bit and see a little bit more. So strictly just going off, we've seen a lot more out of these three guys. And they are really freaking talented. So
yes. Well, number one on my list, I'm agreeing with Nick here. I am going with Cincinnati, Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon, and Jamar Chase. And I'm thinking about it now as we revealed our list. And I felt like as we were going through it, we kept giving reasonings of certain spots by saying, oh, well, that guy is like the weak link of the trio. There's no weak link in this trio.
There's not, no.
So to me, it's like, maybe there's like 3 or 4 teams on this list of 10 that like don't have a weak link, and this is one of them. And I think Jamar Chase is the one out of this 3 that I'm just like, this dude is going to be
he's so good
for a long time.
Really long time.
It's going to be fun to watch this year. And if you have him on your fantasy team, God bless.
bless.
He's going to put up some big time. So,
go Bengals.
Our top 10. I'm excited to see what happens. Obviously, like we said, these are all guys on your fantasy teams, guys on our fantasy teams. So if you have any of them, you should be set.
It's interesting. I was listening to the radio today when I was on my way to my parents. I was listening to the fans. I was listening to Tiki and Tierney. It's one of their shows. I mean, especially I don't like Tiki Barber. I also listen to football talk. They were just saying, though, how, a lot of, it was a big defensive draft this year. And I think that's interesting because we're reading off, and we could do a defensive form of this game, but think of how strong offensively the NFL is. Like, we just read you 10 teams of, quarterback, wide receiver, running back, and we actually had a tight end thrown into the mix. Like, while the draft might have been very defense heavy and, there's some strong guys in the NFL, it is just at this moment in time, such a strong offensive league that we have. Like,
which speaks to why defensive players were drafted, because there's roles on the offense that just don't need to be filled.
Right. And that's why, and I'm hoping these kids really pan out, the ones that were just drafted in the next couple of years, because these kids, they say kids, these people that we just read off, a lot of them are young too. So the next 5 years in the NFL are going to be freaking exciting. And I'm pumped. So.
Well, yes, absolutely. A lot of really good talent. And we've said it time and time again, like, we've been doing this show. We're almost at our 5-year mark here. And, I feel like when the first couple of years of the show, we were just talking about like, there are no good running backs in the league. And I think that has changed. Like, it has. Like, we're seeing it when you draft your fantasy teams. Like, there are guys that are still, you can get later on, and I feel as though that position has gotten better, even though it has become such a passing league, such a, the running back game isn't as important as the wide receiver game, but we still got a lot of good backs in the league too. And still a ton of, I know we're saying defensive guys were drafted, but offensive rookie of the year, when we made that prediction, was very hard because I'm still hearing a lot of buzz around a lot of drafted offensive rookies. So excited to see who they all play out to.
Well, it all starts tonight, people. So
yes, it does.
We will find out. All right, it's that time of the episode where we get it off our chests. Positive and negative football, housewives, wine, life, Thursday night football, the first week in the NFL. Katie, what do you have for us?
I think we have the same exact thing. We're just super excited for football. I'm so happy it's here. And I was saying before the show that, like, I feel as though this game between Buffalo and the Rams is like one of the best opening games we've had in a little while now. Obviously, they're always really good matchups, but this one is like, I really feel like this is, a really strong contender to come out of the NFC with the Rams and a really strong contender to come out of the AFC with the Bills. I predicted last week on our show that the Bills would be winning the Super Bowl this year. So I'm super excited to watch this game tonight.
Yeah.
Like we said, like I have who do I got? I got Cooper Cup. I got Matt Gay. I know Kate. Do you have players tonight?
I don't have anyone tonight.
That's shocking. How do you?
I know.
Well,
I'm lying. I do have 3 fantasy teams. I am lying. I'm blanking on my one team is co-owned, so I'm blanking on that roster right now. I should check in. I don't think I do have anyone going tonight. But
regardless if you do or do not, this is going to be an amazing game.
I might have Cooper Cup.
In the beginning of the show, we were predicting that it's going to be very offensive heavy. It's going to go back and forth. I think it's going to be like matching touchdown for touchdown. I hope I'm right. I'm ready to see it. I'm ready for this NFL season to kick off with a bang. And then as far as our New York Giants go, I wish them all the best of luck. And as one of my favorite sports movies of all time, The Little Giants, I will say, Giants, help us, God.
It's all we can really say going into Sunday in Nashville, Tennessee. It's actually looking like it's going to be rain in the forecast on Sunday. That's okay. The Giants know how to play in rain. I guess the only thing is I think the Titans are a grass field, so it's the only thing that you really think of. I do think of the cold, muddy game in San Francisco, the NFC Championship years back. That was rainy, muddy. So let's bring back that grit and that strength. But I don't know, like you said, it's just I'm so excited for this season. I'm just so happy for football to be back. Take my Mondays, my Thursdays, my Sundays. It's my Saturdays too because I watch college. But it's just so great. It's just to be locked in, obviously, to be part of a massive community of fans, of football fans from everywhere. But yeah, and with the Giants, we just kind of hold our breath and pray. So I don't think it'll be a blowout on Sunday. I think it'll be somewhat here, there, maybe. I don't know. So I'm not like Katie and obviously we both picked the Titans, but we got to be realistic sometimes. They do have Derrick Henry, and that terrifies me. I must say though, I did attend the last Giants Tennessee game, and it was so awful. It's my famous picture of me in the rain being miserable. Not only was it raining, it was about 20 degrees. It was not the best game ever. And you can see it on my face. The world saw it. CBS decided to broadcast me and my sister across television. And I don't even think the Giants scored that game, to be honest. It was horrendous. And Derrick Henry, you think he's a large person when you see him in person, literally took my breath away. So I'm not an NFL player, though. The Giants are NFL players, so they should be okay going up against that large monster of a human being. But we will see. But we would just hold our breath and pray.
Yes. But that is our show for tonight. It's about to be 7:00. We got you guys plenty of time to get ready for the NFL football action tonight. But as far as things that you do not want to miss from now until the next time you see our faces on a typical Wednesday, not a Thursday. We will do Wednesday next week. Do not miss the Real Housewives of Atlanta on Sunday at 8. We've got Real Housewives of Beverly Hills on Wednesday at 8 p.m. and Dubai Reunion Part 2 on Wednesday at 9. Obviously, like we've said a couple times tonight, the NFL 2022 season opener is on tonight at 8:20 p.m. We have got the Buffalo Bills at the Los Angeles Rams. Our other primetime games this week is going to be Sunday Night Football, Tampa Bay at Dallas, another beautiful game for us to watch.
So excited.
And then we've got Monday Night Football. We've got the return of Russell Wilson going against his former team with the Denver Broncos playing at the Seattle Seahawks. We will give you college football games to watch every week. We're never going to list all of them. And we basically try to break it down by ranked teams that will be playing other ranked teams that week. So this weekend, we have number 17 Pittsburgh versus number 24 Tennessee, number 12 Florida versus number 20 Kentucky, and number 9 Baylor versus number 21 BYU. So we're back, baby. We're full with football. Everybody, best of luck to your teams this weekend, fantasy and your real actual team, 3 to 4, and college teams, football, NFL teams. We can't wait for this season to start.
Oh, yeah.
So ready for it. Who knows what we're reporting next week.
It's going to be
I'm ready for a good week one. Let's start off with a bang, baby.
It's going to be an exciting season. We say that every year, but every year it proves.
It always is.
It always is. But all right. Oh, I'm so excited.
See you guys next week. Have a good night and enjoy football.
Go football. Woo! All right. See you guys next week.